We're following new developments with the coronavirus outbreak. At least 14 Americans who were evacuated from a cruise ship in Japan have landed in the U.S. after being infected with the virus. Efforts are also underway this morning to trace passengers from a second ship after one of them tested positive. Joining us now from Hong Kong, NBC News Chief Global Correspondent Bill Neely. Bill, what more can you tell us?
Yeah, good morning, Mika. Around 400 Americans are back on U.S. soil, but not back home quite yet because they've got to spend another 14 days in quarantine at the two military bases, one in California and one in Texas, where they landed just a few hours ago. And as you say, 14 of those passengers tested positive for the virus. They tested 2 or 3 days ago. They didn't have any symptoms. When they got on board that plane, they were put into isolation units so that they would be separate from most of the passengers. But all of them will spend 14 days now in quarantine. Some Americans chose not to get on that flight. One lawyer saying he felt the plane itself was a danger. And of course, around 40 Americans are in Japanese hospitals. I spoke to one of them yesterday who said he felt a bit abandoned and angry at the U.S. government because this hadn't been done earlier. And there's a real point here, Mika, because listen to the latest statistics of infections from that cruise ship. 99 new infections in the last 24 hours, 70 new infections in the 24 hours before that, bringing the total number of infections on the ship to 454. Now, remember, only about 1,000, just over 1,000 people have been tested. That's an infection rate of under 50%. And it makes that ship not just the biggest cluster outside China, but it has a higher infection rate than most places in the epicenter of this outbreak in China itself. So, real questions to the Japanese government, but also to the U.S. government and even the CDC. Why did they think it was a good idea to keep people on a ship that, in fact, has become an incubator for the virus? And just very quickly, one other statistic. The number of deaths in China, 105 new deaths, just over 2,000 new infections. But scientists are asking, can we really trust these statistics?
Right.
Because remember, this is now under the personal control of President Xi, and Beijing is doing everything it can to protect him and blame local officials. So the issue is, are these statistics not just health statistics, but political statistics too? And remember also, this virus has no borders. So Japan is now worried about the number of new cases in new places there. So this is serious.
NBC's Bill Neely, thank you very much for your reporting. And coming up, our next guest opens her new book by asking the questions, what happened to us? We dig into the unraveling of the Middle East and more specifically, the year that sparked the downward spiral. Morning Joe is coming right back.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.